Hello everyone, this is Raw Sun God, and I'm here to give you a basic survival guide of how to survive your first day of Minecraft, and then how to continue on after that point. So for this, I'll be making a new world, and I'll just call this world 2, since I already have one saved world. And with Minecraft, it's called a sandbox game, and basically that means that it generates the game as you go. So as I'm looking around, it randomly generated me right next to a wall. And as far as I look, you can see that it starts to just build the world as you're looking at it. So when in this game, the basic premise of this game is survival, and it's based off of a day and night cycle. So during the day, you can go outside and go around and gather trees and get animals and gather all your resources and things of that nature. But then at night, zombies come out. And when the zombies come out, they will actively try and hunt you down and kill you. And so basically, you have to survive the nights and work during the days, at least to begin with, until you can get some more advanced materials. Now, everything in this game is based off of building. So I can go around and gather blocks of just about anything that I see, and then put them together in special combinations to build more advanced materials, and then I can combine those and keep combining and combining, and do whatever I pretty much want with that. So, in order to start off, you can look up and can't see it here, but if you look up, you can see the sun, and the sun is your timer. So the sun started around here when the world was generated, and as you can see, the sun is traveling across the sky from east to west. And so this is my timer of how much time I have. So in order to survive my first night, I'm going to need to make a little make do shelter, just to at least survive the first night, so that I can keep going from there. So in order to start off, the first most important material is wood. And for the rest of the game, wood will be very important. You will always use wood. Just about every tool that you make has wood in it. So in order to start off, I'll just go over to the first tree that I see, and by left clicking and pointing at the block, you will break it off, and you can see it broke off a little piece of wood there. And now I just grabbed that, and it went into my inventory. So I'm just going to continue to chop down some trees here. And I'm going to need at least probably around 11 pieces of wood, maybe a few more. So it used to be in the alpha release that the two most important things that you needed to survive your first few days were coal and wood. But there was a new release that came out in the beta, which lets you turn wood into charcoal, so you can effectively replace coal in the beginning of the game. And so it makes the first few nights much easier and much more survivable. So I'm going to gather a little more than 11 pieces of wood, just because I have the time, and it'll help me out a little more later. So my next thing is now I need to look around for a good place to build my first shelter. Now this one isn't going to be my final home. It's just going to be a little temporary base that I use to kind of come back to at nights for the next few day-night cycles. So this is dirt with grass on it. This is sand. We've got trees like you've seen already. This is stone. And this here, this kind of a orange color, goldish color, this is iron, and this will be very useful for mid-game level play. But I can't actually collect it at this point because I need a higher level tool to collect it. This over here is coal, as you can see, and this used to be extremely, extremely important, and it is important. But I don't really need it right now. But as you can see, I was trying to break that block, and because I don't have a tool, it would take me forever to break through it, if I could even collect it at all. So my first priority is to look for a little place to make a shelter, and then start making some tools to improve my life a little bit. Alright, so it's high noon, so I have half a day left. So there's a lot of resources over here with some water. There's a fair amount of dirt for farming later. So I think I'm going to make my shelter around in here because there's just so many resources right in this area. And they've got trees over here, and I saw a lot of animals over that way. So we're doing pretty good. I think I'm going to bore my shelter into the wall over here. So I'm going to make my first set of tools just to help facilitate the speed of building the shelter. So if you hit I, you'll open up your inventory, and then you see here I am, and you have 4 different crafting squares. And the first thing I need to do is I need to convert my wood blocks into wooden planks. So I just click my wood blocks in there, and then for each wood block I get 4 wooden planks. So I can either left click and select 4 and drag them down to my inventory, or I can right click and do the same thing, but if I continually right click, you can see it went to 8 and 12. So that's a way that you can make lots of materials at the same time without having to do the tedious moving back and forth. So now I need to make some sticks. So I take the wooden planks and I put them in here down on the bottom, and in a vertical orientation I will put another set of planks up here. And then in order to split the stack, you right click it and you'll split the stack in half so you can start spreading things around for crafting. And then I'll left click it up here, and now I can make sticks. So I'm going to right click a few times and make a few sticks. Cool. So now I'm well on my way. So the next thing I need to make is a crafting table. And so by myself I only have 4 crafting squares, but if I have a crafting table I have 9 crafting squares, which lets me make more complicated items. So in order to do that, I have to take 4 wooden planks, and if you right click on each square you'll just put down 1 item from the stack. So I'm going to put down 4 planks, and then that will make a crafting table, which is very, very helpful. So I'll take this crafting table from here, and I'm going to drop it on my toolbar. And then by rolling the mouse wheel, I can select my crafting table. I'm going to throw it down here. And then to use an item, you right click it. So I'm going to right click on this crafting table, and now you can see I have 9 squares. So the next thing I need to make is I need to make a pickaxe, a shovel, and an axe, and probably a sword to help me get through the night to defend myself. So I'm going to make all wood tools because that's the material that I have at the moment. And in order to do that, you put out your sticks first, and we're going to kind of make the shape of the tool. So I'm going to put down some sticks and a handle like orientation, and then some wooden planks going across the top like this. And as you can see, that gave me a wooden pickaxe. So I'm going to select that, pull that down here. So wooden pickaxes are good for cutting stone. That's what they're good for, and mining ores and materials like that iron we saw earlier. Then there are axes, which if you look at the orientation here, you can see that it's kind of shaped like an axe. Axes are great for cutting down wooden materials. That's what they're really, really good at. And then you can make a shovel by putting a block here. And shovels are good for just about everything else. They're good for stone. Not stone. They're good for dirt, sand, gravel, snow, things of that nature. And then to make a sword, I'm going to need one more wood panel. So I'm going to make 4 more, put out my handle, and then I have to put down 1, 2 pieces of wood planks, and I can make a wooden sword. So now I'm doing pretty good. Now it's time for me to start carving my shelter out. I'm going to have to move a little faster since it's getting dark. So I'm going to use my shovel since this is dirt. And I'm going to kill this pig really fast. He's getting in my way. Pick up some food from him that I'll cook later. So I'm going to use my shovel, and I'm going to start boring in this direction. Starting to get dark. I need to start moving really fast now. So now I'm on to stone, so I'm going to move onto my pickaxe. I need to hurry. It's starting to get pretty dark. But this stone is good because the stone is going to let me make a furnace. And the furnace will let me cook the meat that I just collected. And meat is how you get your health back in this game. Or food in that, rather. And it will also let me turn some of that extra wood that I collected into charcoal so that I can make some torches so that I can see. So I'm going to go break this down because I'm going to need this. And I'm using the axe on it because it's a wooden block. Pick it back up again. Come over here. I'm going to throw it down in my shelter. And then I'm going to put out make a little dirt wall. I'm going to make a door really fast. I'm going to make some more wooden planks. You need 6 planks to make a door. And you put them out in this orientation. 2 vertical columns. And you can make a wooden door. Now the thing about doors are when you place doors, you always place them from the outside of where you want them. And that lets you you can attack through the door, but creatures can't attack into you. So my next thing that I need to make now is I need to make a furnace so that I can make some charcoal, so that I can make some torches so I can see in my cave, my little shelter here. So in order to do that, I go to my workbench and I take this cobblestone that I collected and I put it in this orientation where I put 1 on each perimeter slot. And there I can pull out a furnace. And I'll put that furnace here. And now I'm going to make a few more wooden planks because I'm going to use the wooden planks as fuel, and I'm going to cook this wood here. And then it will generate charcoal. So this is where you put the fuel, this is where you put what you're cooking, and then this is where the output comes. So I'm going to place my fuel in here, and I'm going to put my wood in here, and there you go. You can see it start to cook. And the way you read this is that you have 4 pieces of fuel left, 5 items to be cooked, and then each unit of fuel that is used goes into this little flame indicator here. And as the flame indicator goes down, that's the amount of heat energy that you will receive from each unit of fuel. So as you use charcoal or coal, it's a higher energy density fuel than wood, so you can cook more items per unit than you can with, say, wood. And at random fact, once you get to the end game play, using a bucket of lava will give you the most bang for your buck when it comes to fuel. Great. So I've used up all my wood. I have 5 pieces of charcoal, which I'll just throw in my inventory down.